Here in Argentina, it's election time, and in a couple of days, Argentinians will be going to the polls. It's a typical South American election where it's a choice of two dreadful candidates, and these two are truly dreadful. It's a case of Argentinians need to choose the least worst of these two options. I'm very happy that being a foreigner, I don't actually get a vote, which means I can watch all the coming chaos with a kind of bemused objectivity. So who do we have? On the one side, we have Sergio Massa, the current finance minister. Now, as finance minister, he's kind of created the situation with the high levels of inflation and poor exchange rates that Argentina has at the moment. It's kind of his fault. To be completely fair, it's not completely his fault. I mean, he didn't create the situation. He kind of inherited a bad economy. But he's not done anything to make things any better. And in fact, if anything, things have got worse. Massa comes from the Peronist Party, which has been the traditional party of government for many, many decades here in Argentina. He also comes from the Kirchnerismo tradition, which has been going on for the last 20 years, although he is trying to distance himself somewhat from the whole Kirchnerist idea because that now has kind of negative connotations amongst a lot of the population. If Massa gets elected, everybody kind of knows what they're going to get, which is more of the same. On the other side, we have Javier Milei, who is a populist who's kind of come out of nowhere. People have compared him to Bolsonaro or Trump. He's a libertarian firebrand whose main idea is he wants to have a break with the past and something completely new for Argentina. He's got quite a lot of support amongst young people and the middle classes who basically want something new, no more Peronismo. His mascot, bizarrely, is a chainsaw, which he swings about when he's at campaign rallies, and it symbolizes that he's going to cut through taxes and cut the size of the state and cut red tape. He stated his admiration for Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, amongst other people. Stating admiration for Margaret Thatcher in Argentina has not gone down very well since the whole Falklands Malvinas War thing is kind of still a bit of an open wound here. Milei's principal policies are dollarization, closing the central bank, and lots of privatization. It will be interesting to see how much of this he can actually do because he's not going to have Congress this side, even if he is elected president. There's been some strange accusations leveled at Milei. One is that he might have had sex with his sister. Another is that he gets policy advice from his dogs. But mainly that he's kind of unstable. I mean, he is a bit of a firebrand and he's very quick to lose his temper and so on. This has been a big accusation in the negative advertising. Interesting to note, his vice presidential running mate, a woman, is a friend of the military and believes that the narrative about the dictatorship in the early 80s has been corrupted by the left, and that there needs to be some kind of reassessment of what happened then. My Instagram and YouTube are currently full of advertisements paid by one or the other of these two people. It's all negative advertisements. There's no, I will do this or I will do that. It's all about, don't vote for him because if you do, you're going to get this. Very, very negative, not very helpful. A lot more of these advertisements come from Massa rather than Milei because Massa seems to have more money to spend. Whether this is all his campaign money or some government money is up to speculation. But he did borrow a lot of money from the IMF just a couple of months ago, and nobody really knows what that got spent on. Just saying. Another interesting factor not to be ignored is the Swiftie vote. Taylor Swift was here last week doing several concerts, and her crowd of fans, the Swifties, have this kind of online thing going, which is Swifties don't vote for Milei. So that's another section of young people. I don't know how dedicated those fans are, but I imagine quite so. Whatever happens, this election is going to be characterized by fear and loathing. Yeah, people are going to make decisions based on, do you fear Milei and his wild unpredictability, Or do you loathe Massa and Kirchnerismo and everything he stands for? That's what is going to be determining who people vote for. Whoever wins 6 months from now, half the population are going to be regretting who they voted for, and the other half are going to be saying, "We told you so." Well, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if I get enough interest, I might do some more of these videos. Until then, adios.